The 911 dispatch room was silent, save for the hum of monitors. The clock read 3:10 a.m., Jennifer Mitchell's final shift before retirement. Without warning, the console blazed. Incoming call. Caller ID, child. Address, 14 Briar Lane, a burnt-out lot for 6 years.
Number, that's impossible. I filed that call in 2012.
Her training demanded she dispatch immediately, but her hand trembled over the button. Something in her memory screamed louder than protocol.
Hello?
The line hummed, faint static, like breath, and then the whisper she'd spent 12 years trying to forget. Jennifer sat frozen. Her training demanded action, but she could not move. She could only listen, but the child's voice did not answer. Not yet. The silence was heavier than any word, and in that silence, Jennifer's mind fled. 12 years backward, to the first night this call had shattered her. It was 2012. She was 28, new to the console. And then the child called for help, February 2012. The clock read 3:11 a.m. Jennifer Mitchell, 28, answered a 911 call that would never show up on any official record.
There's someone inside. He's walking up the stairs. Tell me your address. I need to know where you are.
The system auto-located the call, 14 Briar Lane. The screen flashed a note in red. Demolished. Fire. 6 years prior. No occupants.
This address doesn't exist, but that voice, that child, sounds real.
Protocol demanded she send a unit. Jennifer pressed the dispatch button, even as every instinct told her something was wrong.
Dispatch. This is Unit 4. Copy. On 14 Briar Lane. I am 10 minutes out.
Deputy Ryan Cooper turned down the gravel road, his headlights carving through the dark. He'd never been to Briar Lane. No one had. Not for 6 years.
Just stay quiet. Help is coming. I won't hang up, okay?
But the child had gone silent. Only static filled the line, and the distant hum of an engine racing toward nothing. Deputy Cooper killed his patrol car's engine at the coordinates. Headlights swept over an empty gravel rectangle, surrounded by overgrown weeds. No house, no lights.
Dispatch. Unit 4. I am at 14 Briar Lane. Empty lot. I am going to search.
He stepped into the cold. The crunch of frost under his boots, the only sound. The flashlight's beam cut across a concrete foundation, the only remnant of the house fire.
Hello. 911 dispatch. Anyone out here?
The only reply was wind through dead grass. Then his light caught a shape half buried in the foundation's edge. A tiny sneaker, caked in mud.
What the hell? No burn marks. This wasn't here 6 years ago. Not from the fire. Fresh dirt. But no child around. No footprints.
He turned the shoe in his gloved hand. No child, no parent, no sound. Unwilling to drop it, he tucked it into his coat pocket.
Dispatch. Negative contact. No structure, no caller. I'm heading back.
The radio crackled. The engine turned over, and the patrol car rolled away into the dark. Inside Cooper's pocket, the small shoe sat like a secret with no name, alone in his patrol car. Deputy Cooper pulled the shoe from his pocket. He scribbled a few words on a notepad, something he'd never radio in. Back at dispatch, Jennifer Mitchell pulled up the call log to file her report. The screen blinked. No record of 14 Briar Lane. No timestamp, no audio.
That can't be right. I took the call 18 minutes ago.
She ran the search again. Then, a third time. The recording server held nothing. The call didn't exist.
Supervisor, I need you to look at something. A call came in from a demolished address, and now it's gone.
Jennifer, 14. Briar Lane burned down before you even started here. You probably misheard a prank call. Let it go. Jennifer didn't argue. She filled out a paper incident report by hand, documenting every detail while it was still fresh.
If the system wants to forget, I won't.
She folded the report and slipped it into her personal bag under the console. One copy, unofficial, Hers alone. The system had erased the call, but the paper was real. And Jennifer was beginning to understand that some things refused to stay buried. 6 years passed. Jennifer tried to bury the memory, but it stayed like a splinter. She never saw the shoe. She never knew what Cooper wrote. 2018. The dispatch room looked sharper, the monitors newer. Jennifer sat at the same console, older, more tired. A call came in, not from a child, but from a woman screaming. The address, County Road 7, another empty field.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Tell me your location.
Only screams, then silence. The system flagged the location. A plot 40 miles out, with no structures.
Not again. This can't be happening again.
But protocol had no room for memory. She pressed dispatch. Cooper's unit was closest.
Dispatch, Unit 4. Copy on County Road 7, en route.
He drove the familiar dark roads, the same quiet he remembered from 2012. The headlights found nothing. No house, no caller, just whined through an empty field.
Dispatch, negative contact at County Road 7. No structure, no people. It's just an empty field.
Copy that. Unit 4. Return to station.
As soon as the channel closed, Jennifer opened the call log. The entry for County Road 7 was already missing.
Gone. Just like 14 Briar Lane. This is not a glitch.
She refreshed the server 3 times. The call didn't exist. The woman's screams, the dispatch order, erased as if they never happened.
Did you see the call from County Road 7? It's gone from the log again.
The other dispatcher shrugged, too tired or too cautious to engage. No one wanted to question the system.
What if it's not just 2 calls? What if there have been others?
The idea took root. The system wasn't broken. It was hiding something, and the first call, the child's call, was the key. She would find the truth, even if she had to dig through every deleted file herself. She started with the system logs, then reached out to other dispatchers. A few mentioned phantom calls from demolished addresses. One veteran told her about a child's voice crying in an empty warehouse. That call had also vanished.
It's not just me. Someone is covering these up.
The pattern was undeniable. Every erased call traced to a site of old tragedy.
Mitchell, I've had complaints. You are spending too much time on closed cases. Let it go.
Sir, there are calls being systematically erased. I have proof there's a pattern.
The only pattern I see is a dispatcher risking her career. The system is fine. Drop it.
He's lying. Or he knows something. Either way, I can't stop now.
That night, she went down to the records room. Rows of cardboard boxes, years of dead files. She found the box marked 2012, but didn't open it. Not yet. She needed to be careful. Jennifer returned to the records room after midnight. She lifted the 2012 box from the shelf and set it on the table. Inside, between faded emergency call logs, she found her own incident report, crisp, handwritten, still smelling faintly of ballpoint ink. Paper clipped to the back was a small, torn notepad page. Unfamiliar handwriting.
What is this? Deputy Cooper. He never said anything about a note.
She unpinned the note. 6-year-old ink. The words were short, but they hit her like a blow to the chest.
Empty lot. Found one child's shoe in the foundation. He found it, and no one ever told me.
The paper trembled. She read the line again, but her mind refused to let go of the rest of the note. Another sentence, still unread.
A child's shoe. Real evidence. The system didn't just delete the call, it buried this.
She wanted to scream, to run upstairs and wave the note in Thompson's face. But she forced herself to breathe. This was only half the truth. She would keep the note. She would find out what else had been hidden. And she would make sure the child's voice was never silenced again. Empty lot, but found one child's shoe in the foundation, not from the original fire. Deputy Cooper.
Not from the original fire. He knew it wasn't a prank. The shoe was left there after.
The implications settled over her. The shoe hadn't been buried for 6 years. It was fresh. The child had been there.
Cooper found proof and the system hid it. They wanted me to doubt my own mind.
For 6 years, she had wondered if she imagined that call. The note burned away every doubt.
I was right. The call was real, and someone doesn't want anyone to know.
She carefully folded the note and tucked it into her incident report. Then she placed both into her bag. Jennifer looked up at the dark ceiling of the records room. The proof was in her hands, but the system would never accept it.
If I try to go public, they'll discredit me again. But I won't let this go.
That night, she made a decision. If the child ever called again, she would not dispatch. She would listen. She would stay on the line. The next morning, Jennifer walked into Supervisor Thompson's office. The note was folded in her hand, and she had no intention of leaving without an answer.
I found Deputy Cooper's field note from the 2012 call. He found a child's shoe at 14 Briar Lane. A shoe that didn't come from the fire.
That call never happened. You know the system didn't record it.
She placed the note on his desk. He glanced at it, and for a fraction of a second, his face tightened with something that looked like fear.
Where did you get this? This was supposed to be destroyed.
So you knew. You knew Cooper found something, and you buried it. Why?
You are a dispatcher, not an investigator. Drop this, or you'll lose your job. And then, who will listen to the children?
He's not just dismissing me. He's scared. This goes higher than I thought.
She picked up the note, folded it, and walked out without another word. There was no point arguing with a locked door. She would stop fighting the system. She would wait, and when the call came again, she would be the only one listening. The days bled into months, then years. Jennifer did her job, processed real calls, saved real lives. But always in the back of her mind, she waited.
Every time the phone rings at 3 a.m., my heart stops. But it's never the child.
She kept the note in her bag, a secret talisman. She read it sometimes, just to remind herself it was real. The other dispatchers noticed she was quieter now. Thompson retired, replaced by someone who never mentioned the old calls. The system remained a black box. 6 more years passed. Jennifer's hair grayed at the temples. The dispatch room was renovated, but her console stayed the same.
Maybe the call will never come again. Maybe the child moved on.
But she didn't really believe it. The note was still there, and so was the silence that followed her every shift.
I've waited so long. If the call never comes, was it all for nothing?
She kept working. Every shift at 3:11 a.m., she stared at the silent console, breathing, listening to the hum of the monitors. She was still waiting, still listening, even as her retirement date approached. The line stayed dead. The dispatch room had a small retirement cake and a card signed by the day shift. Jennifer sat at her console for the last time.
12 years of waiting, and tonight it ends, one way or another.
The hum of the monitors was the only sound. Her fingers rested on the keyboard, ready but still.
If it happens, I won't press dispatch. I made a promise 12 years ago.
The digital clock flicked to 3:10 a.m., 1 minute to the time that had haunted her.
I've doubted myself for years, but the note is real. Cooper's shoe was real.
She scanned the silent call queue. Nothing but routine traffic from far units. The child's line held its breath.
This is my last night. If there is an answer, it has to be now.
The second hand swept past the 3:11 a.m., arrived like a held breath. The console did nothing, no call. Only the hum of the monitors and the weight of every unanswered question. The second hand swept past the 12, and nothing happened. No call, no whisper. The silence felt like a verdict.
All these years, all that waiting, and the line stays dead.
She pressed her hand flat against the cool metal of the desk. The note in her bag felt heavier than stone.
I could walk out right now. No one would blame me. 12 years is enough.
But her body didn't move. Something kept her rooted. The memory of the child's voice, the shoe, a promise she'd made to herself.
If I leave now, I'll never know, and I can't carry that.
She pulled the worn note from her bag. The handwriting had faded, but the words were still a lifeline. Empty lot, but found one child's shoe in the foundation. Not from the original fire.
Cooper believed it. That has to count for something.
She would wait. Not for the system, not for proof, for the child who had asked for help and who might still be listening. The console erupted. The incoming call alert blazed across the dark room. Child 14, Briar Lane. Timestamp 3 hours 11 minutes and 0 seconds AM. Jennifer's heart slammed against her ribs. Her training screamed at her to press dispatch. Her hand moved on its own, but she forced it still. 12 years of waiting, 12 years of doubt, all leading to this single choice.
Not tonight. Tonight, I listen.
Her hand withdrew from the dispatch button and instead reached for the headset mic. She pressed the talk button. She did not dispatch. She simply waited, as she had promised herself she would.
I am here. I remember you.
The line hummed with static. No answer. But she didn't hang up. She would wait as long as it took. Even if it took the whole night. Even if it meant breaking every rule she'd ever followed. The seconds ticked by. And then, faint and distant, a whisper began to form. The static coalesced into a small, clear whisper. 12 years hadn't changed the voice. It was exactly as she remembered.
You sent someone last time.
The words hit her like a physical blow. She gripped the edge of the console, knuckles white, and a sob caught in her throat.
It's really him. The same child. After all these years, he's still calling.
Her throat tightened. She forced herself to speak, her voice cracking with years of buried fear and hope.
I did. I sent help, but they didn't find you. They only found your shoe.
The line hummed. A faint breath. Then the voice continued, uncertain, as if it had waited so long to be heard.
I know. I waited.
Tears slipped down Jennifer's cheeks. She didn't wipe them away. This was real, and it was finally happening. Whatever this was, it wasn't a prank. The child was still there, waiting. And Jennifer was not going to hang up now. Not ever. She would stay on the line until the child said everything it needed to.
What happened to you? Where are you now? Please, tell me.
The audio waves spiked, but no answer came. Only the whisper of static and the child's shallow breath.
You sent help last time. Thank you.
The words settled on her like a heavy cloth. Jennifer's lips parted, but no sound came. The line clicked dead. The screen flashed. Call ended. Duration, 2 minutes, 11 seconds. She stared at the empty log. No record would be saved. It was as if the last minutes had never existed.
Thank you. Just thank you. After all these years.
Tears streamed down her face, but she didn't sob. The release was quiet, almost peaceful. For 12 years, she had doubted her own memory, but the child remembered. The child remembered. The child had thanked her. She pressed her palm to her chest, feeling the outline of the folded note through her uniform. With trembling hands, she reached into her bag and pulled out the folded incident report and Cooper's yellowed note. She smoothed the note on the desk. The words still sharp after 12 years. Empty lot, but found one child's shoe in the foundation. Not from the original fire. Deputy Cooper.
The shoe was real. The call was real. The child was real.
For over a decade, she had doubted her own sanity. But this scrap of paper, hidden by a system afraid of ghosts, proved she was right.
Cooper believed it. Now I know why he wrote it down. He couldn't let it be erased either.
She pressed the note to her chest, feeling the weight of every unanswered question finally settle.
I sent help. It was enough.
Quiet peace washed over her. Not because the mystery was solved, but because she no longer needed it to be. The clock read 3:13 a.m. She was ready to walk away. She pressed the note to her lips, then folded it carefully. The incident report followed. Both returned to the worn leather bag. The console sat idle, as if nothing had happened. No record, no audio, no proof but the paper in her hands. Jennifer stood slowly, her joints aching after years of night shifts. The retirement cake remained untouched on the corner desk.
Goodbye.
She walked toward the door, then paused at the threshold and turned back. The headset hung on the empty chair, waiting for no one.
Thank you.
The door clicked shut. The hum of monitors faded. The clock read 3:14 now. 1 minute, and a lifetime, had passed. She walked down the hallway, the weight of 12 years lifting with each step. By the time she reached the exit, the dispatch room behind her was already a memory. In the small anteroom by the exit, she pulled her heavy coat from the rack. The worn fabric settled onto her shoulders. She looked back through the door's small window. The dispatch room was dark, the monitors silent, the cake on the desk untouched.
No one else will ever know, but I will.
She turned from the glass and faced the exterior door, the cold steel bar under her hand. Then she pushed through. The night air hit her face, sharp and clean. She stepped onto the asphalt, breath clouding in the cold. The parking lot was silent, her car the only one left. The car door opened with a familiar creak. She slid into the driver's seat. She sat for a moment, hands on the wheel, staring at the dark dispatch center through the windshield.
It's over. It was real. That's all that matters.
She turned the key, and the engine hummed to life. She backed out of the space and paused, headlights sweeping across the empty lot. The dispatch center sat silent behind her. Through the windshield, a few stars still clung to the dark sky. She looked up at them for a long moment.
That was for you. Wherever you are.
She shifted into drive and pulled onto the road, the tires crunching over gravel. She glanced in the rearview mirror as the dispatch center shrank in the distance. The note sat in her coat pocket, a small, folded truth. The road stretched ahead, empty and dark, but the sky was beginning to lighten.
12 years. But finally, I can let go.
The dispatch center disappeared around a bend, and she didn't look back again. She drove into the coming dawn, and the night's weight fell away. In a distant evidence locker, a small shoe sat sealed inside a plastic bag, marked 2012. The deputy's note rested on a wooden desk, the paper brittle, the handwriting still legible. Jennifer sat by her window, the note in her lap, the morning light warming her face. A faded image of the note overlapped with the child's shoe, a composite of the only proof. The shoe had been forgotten, but it remained a small, silent witness. The note was kept in a box, not as evidence, but as a private talisman. She looked out at the road, the drive behind her, the mystery intact. The note and shoe, two objects that should not exist, yet they did. The words on the note, not from the original fire, a sentence that meant everything. And the shoe, forever untouched, waited for an answer that would never come. The dispatch room lay in absolute darkness, its monitors extinguished, its chairs unattended, the air thick with stillness. Jennifer's headset dangled from the back of her chair, as it had for 12 years, a silent question mark in the gloom. A narrow red glow from the exit sign slanted across the cold floor, the only light in the room. No call would disturb this place again. The line was dead, the room breathless, the night eternal. Dust motes hung in the red beam, motionless as if time itself had stopped inside these walls. The console screens were blank, no pixel stirring, no alert blinking, no life left to answer. Only the faint vibration of an aging server hummed through the silence, a heartbeat for a room that no longer needed one. The chair sat empty. The headset swung slightly in the still air, then fell motionless. The only witness, the camera pulled back slowly. The room shrank to a dark square, then a pinpoint of red, and then nothing at all. And then the red dot vanished, and there was only black. The silence was complete.